So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And for the fathers, I want to do something a little different. I want to come out with a series of what every father should have in their wardrobe. And it's going to be probably a 3 to 4 part series. And it's going to start right now. Alright, big fellas, once again, thank you for tuning into my channel. If you like the content, if you like the information, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as that bell notification so that you're notified anytime I drop some more heat. So like I said, this is for the fathers out there, which should be the foundation to every family. And I know that a true father is always busy. He's either at work, he's doing something for his kids, he's trying to please his wife in some kind of way, and a lot of times you just don't have time to figure out what you're going to wear to a certain occasion or just walk out the house in. So I'm going to make this a little easier for you guys. I got 3 or 4 different episodes. I don't know which one yet, but they're all going to be coming out, and they're going to be including what fathers should have in their wardrobe. And as you can see, we're starting with the kicks. So number 1, pair of shoes. And this is really in no particular order, but number 1 is the white sneaker. Now, you choose what kind of white sneaker you like. This is obviously the Air Force Ones, and you can have multiple pairs because you never can have too many white sneakers because they just get dirty too easily. I mean, I've worn these 3 or 4 times, and it's already like I need to put a toothbrush to these and get the scrubbing. But you can do these, you can do something like some shell toes or some Adidas Stan Smiths, or you can go to somewhere like Gap and just get a nice pair of low-cut leather white shoes. If that's your style, and that would be perfectly fine. But it is an essential piece in a man's wardrobe, regardless if he's a father or not. Number 2 on my list will be the low-top brown boot or shoe. Now, these particular pair from College Spring, see, I would link descriptions to these things, but most of these things, honestly, they're not even really out anymore because these things are old. But these things have really been my workhorses. Whenever in doubt, I just throw these on with an outfit and I'm already looking 10 times better. And I really love these because these are like the wingtip kind of design, and they have the thick sole, so they're actually really comfortable. If you can find something similar to this on College Spring, I suggest you get them. These were at the time when I bought them were only like $45. So it's a solid investment. The 3rd shoe I'm going to suggest is the low top black boot. Now, these are Doc Martens. They're not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm very eclectic in the way that I dress, so I like to cross a bunch of different style lines, and these are more, you know, punk rock inspired, alternative inspired, but these, honestly, I really like them. They're very heavy, but they're very durable at the same time. But if you wanted to get something black, you can just go back and get something like these in black, and they'll be perfectly fine. But for these are a piece for my taste and my creativity. They do a lot more than what an ordinary black boot would do. So that's why I picked these up. And number 4 on my list is the Chelsea boot. Now, keep in mind that these are all suggestions. Whether or not you want all 6 of these is up to you, obviously. But it's good to have 2 or 3 of these in your wardrobe for different occasions. And you want to get the most versatile pieces, especially if you're not a guy who's used to getting dressed all the time. So the Chelsea boot is the number 4 for me, and there's a few different variations of the Chelsea boot. This one happens to be leather, and it has as you can see, it has more of the dressier sole to it. You can also pick up these type, which are suede, and they have the crepe sole, which is a lot more casual as opposed to these, which are more dressy. I had to choose one or the other, whether go dressy or more casual. It depends on your lifestyle. If you have a more dressier type of job, then you might want to get the dressier type of Chelsea boot because you're going to be able to wear it more often. But if you don't have the kind of job where you may have to get dressed every day and look to dress to impress, then I suggest you get the more casual ones. So if you don't have a dressier kind of job, I suggest these. But if you do, if you got to get dressed every day, you got to dress to impress, I suggest these. Number 5 on the list is going to be the desert boot. Because the desert boot is just so versatile. You can wear it with jeans, you can rock chinos, t-shirts, button-ups, whatever you want to do, and they're still going to look good. And the last shoe, number 6, that every father should have in their wardrobe is, of course, the black dress shoe. I mean, you're going to need these. You're going to have an anniversary party to go to. If you go to church, you're going to need a pair of these. Maybe a child's recital, a banquet, something. A father's lifestyle requires you to have a pair of black dress shoes. Now, the style of dress shoe matters, all right? Get rid of these square-toed dress shoes that look like they have all the alligator print on them and stuff. That stuff is played out. The kind of shoes you want now is a more minimalistic shoe. Like this one. This pair is from Baldy. B-A-L-D-I, Baldy. Right, and this is very minimalistic. I mean, there's really not even any seams on this thing. I mean, it's just a real clean shoe, and they're actually really comfortable. And when I bought these at the time, they were probably close to $50. So that's the last essential to a father's shoe wardrobe. And I want to say a little something to the fathers out there. Thank you for being there for your kids. Fortunately, we live in a world today where a man thinks it's okay to skip out on his child and leave the responsibility to the mother. If you want to see what a world full of fatherlessness looks like, then go to any ghetto in the United States and you'll see what a world full of fatherlessness looks like. And let me say this to you guys. If you're one of those guys who grew up without a father, I personally want to apologize to you on behalf of the guy who let you down. It wasn't cool for him to do that. It was completely wrong. But let me let you know, it wasn't your fault. He was selfish. He had other plans, and he skipped out. Because I'm sure if he'd have met you, he wouldn't have left you. And if he did leave you after he met you, that makes him even worse. But what I want to say to you guys is, even though he left, forgive him. Forgive him. That pent-up anger is too much for you to carry your entire lives. And honestly, after a certain amount of years, stuff like that starts to take a physical toll. And you don't want the burden of hating somebody on your mind every time that position comes up. You know, I heard a preacher say one time, and if you're into gospel music, his name is Ty Tribbett. One of the most profound things I'd ever heard in my life. He said, most people walk around thinking that unforgiveness is a strength. They think that because they refuse to forgive somebody that they're in a position of strength. But actually, they're in a position of weakness. When you really think about it, when you refuse to forgive somebody, it's a position of weakness. Because think about if they walk in a room, how your mood is going to change, how you're going to react, how you're going to feel. You gotta understand that is a position of weakness because you can't remain who you are as long as they're there. You have to forgive. I know it's easier said than done, but you have to forgive. And I want to thank my father for always being there. And even now, if I call him to this day, obviously we have a different relationship than we had when I was a child. But if I call him today, he's still going to put on that father hat because a father never forgets who he is. And he never forgets what role he plays in his child's life. So happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Look for the other episodes of what a father should have in their wardrobe, and I'll see you guys later. Also follow me on Instagram at Dondrick_Ray. And remember, just because you're big, don't mean you can't stay fly. Peace.